It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
Oh, it's a rough day. We're just going to get into it to kick off the podcast. It's a rough day. It may be a good day for you to check out the YouTube video, or if you're on Spotify, you can see the video because it's going to be the beginning of the podcast today, and the visual aid may help. We're going to talk about what happened to my face here in a second. And then I've got to talk Gonzaga Bulldog basketball. I'm recording this right after they won the WCC tournament, heading to the NCAA tournament for the 1 millionth year in a row. Talk some Zags, talk some Publix, because I don't know much about it. But got to talk some Publix here in Lexington, Kentucky. And then I've got some Bill Murray movie thoughts. And I need some help with some Bill Murray movie thoughts. We will get into that. But we have to start with what's going on my face. What happened? Holy smokes. Now, my wife has told me that I've done this before, but I know what she's thinking. I have it on my records as something that hasn't happened since 2011, which would have been 5 years before my wife and I started dating. I shaved my face, and it is dreadfully bad. So let's get into what happened here. I have 3 children. My baby child, my little infant child, is the sweetest angel. And he is so chill and wonderful. My oldest, my daughter, can be a bit annoying. 5-year-old can be a little bit of a in your face and needy, but not as bad. Kind of independent at times. And overall, there are moments. I think all the kids have moments. You can tell her like, "Hey, I need a second," and she'll give you a second. My middle child, Huck, is in your pockets 24/7. He is by one of the parents 24/7, and he is constantly in need of something. Hey mom, hey dad, hey mom, I need this, I need this, I need this. Nonstop. It's nonstop from the Huck man. And so the other night, my beard was getting a bit long, and I knew after the kids went to bed, I wanted to trim back the beard. I wanted to just trim the beard. But before that, I had got home from work, and I was like, look, I need to at least get the neck beard taken care of because it was driving me crazy that it had gone on too long. So I went up to the bathroom. Huck, of course, follows me, and I'm just going to shave along my neck. And Huck is just in my biz. Dad, and he's very loud, and he's got a whine to him that is unprecedented. So he's just going, I'm looking for my razor, and I finally find it. I'm like getting it out, making sure the batteries are charged on it. And he's just going, I'm like, buddy, I need 3 minutes. I need 3 minutes. 2 minutes. Can I have 2 minutes just to shave my neck? 1 minute. Can I have 1 minute? So I start it, and he is grabbing at my pants. And we had a long work day. I was tired. Huck's in it. I'm kind of in a state of mind where I'm just not thinking right. I ran the razor up my chin and up towards my lips. And when I hit up by where my mustache would be, I realized what was going on. And I said, oh crap, you can't take this back. And I looked at Huck, I was like, dude, we made a mistake. And he kind of looked at me, and then he saw, I had a wild facial hair because I had one strip of skin was surrounded by hair. And he was heavily invested. He had already forgotten about whatever he was needing so desperately. Whatever Lightning McQueen, glow-in-the-dark Lightning McQueen toy he couldn't find. Now he's like, what's happening to your face? So I did what any good dad would do as I'm sort of panicking that my face is going to be shaved. I shaved just a nasty mustache to start with. And Huck is just enthralled with this process. And he looks at me, he's like, Dad, you are Dr. Robotnik. The only real person he knows with a mustache, Dr. Robotnik. So I chased him around a little bit with the mustache. He's laughing. Then I shaved the mustache off, and things got weird. He was like, well, I don't know about this. I like the Dr. Robotnik thing. I couldn't have left my house and gone into public with that mustache. I think it's illegal. I think I'd get arrested on the doorstep of my house. And so he then was kind of like, ooh, my littlest, my son, my little son, didn't recognize me at all. I had to verbalize some words to him. I had to talk to him. And once he heard my voice, he was like, wait a second. That's my dad, but he doesn't look like my dad. And so that was weird. He was kind of being weird. Huck was just kind of whatever. My daughter got home later that night and did the nervous laughter where I was like, it's me, Dad. You can give me a hug. And she's like, no, I can't. I know that's you, but I couldn't possibly get close to that face to give you a hug. So that's what happened. I had to shave the face down because of a blunder. Thought I was just going neck, got lost in the mix, and now my face is shaven for what I believe is the first time since 2011. And it's been like it's caused crazy effects because I really dislike it. I really dislike the no facial hair. And so today I had to go into work I'm recording this on Tuesday night. So Tuesday I go into work and I spent the entire day trying to avoid people. Like you can't actually do that, but I tried to. So I'd walk around corners quick. I would see people looking at me and I'd like turn my back to them. Renner and Riley both came into the warehouse when I was working in our warehouse, and I like wouldn't look at them. Even though I know one of the reasons they were there is because my face was shaved and they're like, we have to see this. This is hilarious. I wouldn't look at them like that was going to fix it. It didn't. So I'm going around work today trying to avoid people, hiding around corners, trying to stay in areas where there was a couple guys that I knew I had to be around. So I let them see the facial hair right off the bat. I'm like, look, make your jokes, which they did. And then I'm like, I'm going to stay around these people the whole day and just kind of hide here and try to hide behind them if anyone comes in. So that's why I spent my day at work, just hiding. That was great. Last night at basketball, Monday night at basketball, I got to hear it from all the basketball guys. And this, rightfully so, I talk trash nonstop at basketball. That's all I do. And so I walked into the gym with ammunition for all of these guys, and as they should, they took full advantage of it. I would have done the same thing. So it's been a rough 48 hours, and here's where the worst part is. So it's out there. Right now you can see my face as is. It's out there. People know that I've shaved the face. It's not like this is this crazy deal that's changing the world, but it's changing my world. That's why we talk about it on this podcast. And here is the problem. It is not good when you do a major change to yourself, whether it's your hair, maybe it's your fashion style, like this. Maybe you go for glasses, you get glasses, you shave your face like this. You make a major change. And when nobody says to you, hey, it looks good, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. And only 2 people have said it looks good. One doesn't count, and I know what the other one's doing. So I've seen a ton of people, and everyone mentions it. And like I said, no one was like, oh, that looks good. They're like, wow, that is different. That's really not a good line when you make a major change. That is different. Or, wow, it looks younger, kind of with a question. That's also not good when you make a major change. The holy cow, that one right there, that's not good when you make a major change. So I know what I've done. All right, I get it. I get it. I'm with you. I'm on your team. For those of you who have looked at my face and said, well, that was a mistake. I agree. But the 2 people, one of them doesn't count. John Tyler, who I work with, is genuinely one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my life. I don't quite understand him. I want to be really close to him because he's great and he loves college hoops. And so he's just a really fun kid to talk to. I really enjoy him. But he's not real because he's too nice. Where I'm like, dude, if you know me, I'm not going to be able to be nice 24/7. Every now and then we're going to have to let one fly. We're going to have to get it out of my system. And this guy's just the nicest guy. And so he saw me today. I tried to hide. We're in the bathroom. I'm at the urinal. I stayed at the urinal extra long to try to avoid talking to him. I thought, okay, I'd already been at the urinal. He came into the bathroom. He went to the bathroom. I'm acting like I have had to go to the bathroom for 5 hours, just standing there. He had to think I had to have some kind of issue, old man problems. And I made the dumbest decision of asking him a college basketball question. So, of course, he stayed at the sink waiting for me because a normal person doesn't pee for 5 minutes. But here I am trying to hide my face. Finally, I give up the goat, and I come back around the corner from the urinals, and he's like, oh, you shaved your face. He goes, I like it. And I was like, no, you don't, man. You don't have to lie to me. But he's just the nicest guy in the world. Terrible college basketball, terrible basketball opinions, nicest guy in the world. The other person who has said they liked it was my wife. And she is technically the only one that matters. If my wife likes it, that's really all that matters. That's the only thing. My kids will get over it. I'm not trying to win over anyone. anymore with my looks. I'm not trying to get a job, I'm not trying to get a TV job where I've got to have some kind of looks for it. So if my wife likes it, that's what matters. But the way she keeps bringing it up makes me feel like she's trying to convince herself that she likes it more than anything. I also know my wife is very kind, and she's like, she knows it's bothering me, so she's trying to give me a little bit of confidence with it. And she also understands I can grow my beard back in a week. So that's not going to be a problem. Next week it'll be fine. Here is the problem. The problem is I might need to keep it now after the Zags game tonight. In fact, maybe we try to call Brandon real quick. Brandon had mentioned right off the bat, the Zags are up by a lot. He's like, dude, maybe it was the beard. Maybe this team wasn't great because of the beard. Now, we'll talk Zags here in a second, but the question now becomes, do I have to stay clean shaven through March? Is that the deal? I need to just, I'm going to call him. We'll see if we will see. Let's see here. We'll see if he answers. I didn't tell him I was calling. He might realize why I'm calling and answer. We'll see. But yeah, that's the question. One of the questions I've got to ask tonight. Do I keep it? Do I keep it for the Zags? Do I keep it for a potential run? Zags thoughts coming up after this call. I don't think he answers. We used to never not answer. Yeah. He's married. He's doing a puzzle or something right now, helping out with arts and crafts. He might be watching one of his Barstool shows.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone. All
right, that right there might mean that I'm off the hook for any kind of facial hair growth. We'll see, but we'll talk about it. It will be a conversation that's got to be made by this weekend when the brackets come out. So Gonzaga beats St. Mary's tonight. We do have to talk a little bit of Gonzaga before I talk about Publix here in Lexington and some Bill Murray stuff. So I'm going to try to keep it quick with the Zags. There's going to be more Zags stuff coming up in March. They win against St. Mary's tonight in Las Vegas. They win the West Coast Conference tournament. They are officially into the NCAA tournament. Punch their ticket. Okay. Beating St. Mary's, having a really, I thought, pretty good run the last couple of games here. Through the tournament, great. The last two games of the WCC season, great. They're looking fine. I think they've got a lot of pieces. I don't think this is not a, I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. This is a good to great team. This is not an elite team. But as of right now, the Zags are in the NCAA tournament, which means Coach Few is in the NCAA tournament coaching these guys. And you saw, if you watched the game tonight, he came in with a really good game plan against St. Mary's, and it worked. Changing his starting lineup, kind of putting some bigs out there. They did a good job scouting out the film for what St. Mary's does well and not well, and they exploited. And that was huge. And so I think they've got enough pieces to do that with a lot of different teams on a lot of different looks. Guys like Khalif Battle are awesome. Caleb Battle is awesome. I think you've got, of course, Nemhard's the nation's leader in assists. He's phenomenal. Graham Ike is great. When Graham Ike is great, Graham Ike is great. Now, he's not great every single night, but he's great more than he's not. Braden Huff can be a bucket when you need one. I think there's a lot of pieces here. There's more, but I think there's a lot of pieces here that are really good for the Zags going forward. I do think there's some issues. I have personally not been impressed with Nolan Hickman this season. Defensively, maybe he's done fine, but this team's going to need some offense. If you watch the game tonight, they need some offense. Will they make 1-3? There were one for. I got to look at the stat real quick. I said this would be a quick Gonzaga talk, and it will be. Let's see here. I got to find this real quick. Can I find the game? Where are the stats for the game? Gonzaga Bulldogs. I don't want to edit, so I'm just going to keep this in. Here we go. All right, against St. Mary's tonight, 58-51. This is their three-point shooting. It's insane. This is insane. Because if you do this in the NCAA tournament, you lose. Period. You lose. The Zags shot 1 of 15. That's 6.7%. St. Mary's shot 0 of 16. This is one of the worst. That's one of the worst shooting performances of the year in college basketball. It might be the worst, right? That's 1 of 31 from 3. I would be interested to know if there was a worse shooting performance in Division I basketball in a game this year. I don't think there would be. So that's really bad. You have to make threes in the NCAA tournament. But there are guys on the Gonzaga Bulldogs who are capable of doing that. There was an off night tonight across the board. You got to shoot the ball well. I'm excited to watch this team in March. They're going to be a 7, 8, 9, maybe a 6 seed in the tournament. So we'll see where that plays out here on Sunday when the brackets come out. And I'm very excited about this team. I didn't want to get too much into it. I did want to say one thing. There was a play tonight that I really loved that I thought was special, and I think it's a play you need to watch as a Zags fan and go, wow, that was really cool. And we've been blessed to watch this guy this season. 2 minutes left in the game, just over 2 minutes left. There's a missed shot, believe it or not, by the Zags. It is offensively rebounded by Braden Huff. Huge offensive rebound, okay? This game is still close. Huge offensive rebound, gets the ball back in Gonzaga's hands. Now there's still another possession. He kicks it out to Nembhard, who clears out everyone except for Braden Huff. And this was a Nembhard moment of selling him as a great basketball player and a wonderful Zag. He saw so quickly what was happening and knew exactly what to do. Cleared 3 guys out to the opposite side. He worked a 2-on-2, with Braden Huff. He got a high screen from Huff, rolled around it down the middle of the lane, kicked it to Braden Huff, who hit a 14-foot floater, and it was just a perfectly executed play in a frantic situation. I thought it was so awesome. And so it was like my favorite play of the night. It was just a really good X's and O's, and a really good shout out to Nembhard for how smart he is, because it was chaos in a tight game where you've got to win it to punch your ticket. Awesome work. Okay, there's some Zags stuff. One last Zags thing. One of the sites for the NCAA tournament is Lexington, Kentucky. Fewy, P-Mike, bring the boys back out here, baby. Bring the boys to Lexington. If the boys show up to Lexington, this is going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. I mean, I will be worthless leading up to that. I will have obviously taken Thursday off to go to the game. And then Saturday, hopefully there will be another one. They could be here. Otherwise, the nearest site other than that, I believe, is Cleveland. I did drive to Detroit last year. Man, Cleveland would be tempting. Milwaukee would probably be tempting. I think those are both 6 to 8 hour drives, doable. But there's a site in Lexington, for crying out loud. That would be insane. Okay, real quick. Publix, a restaurant, a grocery store that I've never lived in a city that has a Publix. My wife has loved Publix when she lived down in LA. Publix is opening here in Lexington. There's 2 of them, 2 locations opening. One is open, one is not yet. Here is what I need to know from you Publix lovers. Everyone already says pub sub, pub sub, pub sub. They apparently have a great sub sandwich at Publix that I'm excited to try for sure. But one thing I've noticed here in Lexington that drives me insane, besides the fact that people here drive slower than anywhere in the United States. Holy smokes. The grocery stores here don't have hot bars. Well, they do, but all they have with their hot bars is fried chicken and JoJo's. That's it. Kroger's. It's fried chicken and JoJo's. And that's what they got. Oh, what's beeping here? Is Brandon trying to get back a hold of me? I don't think so. I need to close out Skype because I don't need that beeping in my life. They don't have hot bars. So does Publix have a hot bar? It's what I miss a lot from Spokane grocery stores, the Yolks that I would go to, the Rosars and Browns Edition, amazing hot bars. And you can do a little grocery shopping and leave with a little half pound of something special. The Browns Edition Rosars, that thing was loaded with great stuff. They would have the German sausage, they would have ribs, they would have mac and cheese, they'd have mashed potatoes, like all these great things. It was just a madhouse of magic in the hot bar at that Rosars. I need it. So Publix people, is there a hot bar there? Dying to know, dying to find out. One location is open. It's far away from where I live. The other location is pretty close. So that's why we sit here and wait. All right, let's get into Kelly's What Are You Into? Bill Murray fans, I need your help.
Kelly's What Are You Into?
So Bill Murray was on the YouTube show Hot Ones. I love Hot Ones. I think it's a great show. Sean Evans interviews a celebrity guest while they both eat hot wings together. and work through a bunch of questions. It's very fun. I enjoy it. Bill Murray was on it. He was great. And I was reminded at how great Bill Murray is in the movies that I like. And then I went to his IMDb and I realized how few of his movies I've seen out of the laundry list of movies he's done. Let me get a drink here for a second. So Bill Murray's been in a ton of movies. So I put together the top 5 Bill Murray movies according to me. Okay? These are of the movies I have seen. Now, again, I have not seen all Bill Murray movies. So when you're screaming one that I don't have on this list, this is why I want help. If you hear one that I don't have on this list, let me know. And I want to watch it. Because I really do find him funny, and I really do find him enjoyable. Now, the precursor to this list, before we get into the top 5 Bill Murray movies, according to me, I don't find Caddyshack funny. And I know to some of you that's blasphemy, and that's the craziest thing or whatever. I don't enjoy Caddyshack. I love Chevy Chase. I love Bill Murray. Something about that movie doesn't work for me, and so it's not on my list. I really don't enjoy it. I have watched it multiple times, not out of enjoyment, but out of the fact that I've tried to convince myself to like it. So that one's not on the list. The other one not on the list, I don't have Space Jam on the list. I don't consider Space Jam a Bill Murray movie. I consider it a Michael Jordan movie, so it's not on the list. So that precursor is out there. Here are the 5 best Bill Murray movies, according to me. Number 5, Kingpin. Bill Murray as Ernie McCracken. I think it's fantastic. I love the overemphasis on the hair, his dances. Bill Murray in Kingpin is awesome. Now, I don't necessarily love Kingpin, but I do love Bill Murray enough in that movie to have it in my top 5. Number 4, and man, this one I thought was going to be higher on my list. The Man Who Knew Too Little. If you've not seen that movie, you need to see it. It's extremely funny. He's so good in it. Man, and it might be number 3, but it's number 4 on my list right now. He is misidentified as a spy, and he's not a spy, and he has to take down these bad guys. It's great. Or is he thought of as a spy or as an undercover agent? Let me look here real quick. Let me revisit that. What is making sounds here in my headset? I don't know what it is. In the movie, gosh, why can't I find it? I guess it's older than I thought it was. Yeah, wow, 97. Wallace Ritchie is mistaken for a spy and must stop a plot to assassinate international leaders. It's great. The Man Who Knew Too Little. Number 3, Ghostbusters. I really enjoy Ghostbusters. So I enjoy it because as a kid, I thought Slimer was awesome. And so that was just cool to me, and he's in it, and I think he's great in it, and I love Ghostbusters. I'm also kind of a nerd who likes those kind of movies. Number 2, Groundhog Day. Oh, man, that movie is good. You get maximum sarcastic Bill Murray. Phil? It's me, Ned the Head. Needle Nose Ned the Head. Bing! That's not Bill Murray who says that, but that's a great part of that movie. He is so wonderful, Bill Murray is in Groundhog Day. Again, you get maximum sarcastic Bill Murray, and I love it. I love that. And number 1, the best Bill Murray movie, according to me, What About Bob? Holy cow. That is a movie I can watch anytime and laugh every time. It is fantastic. He is perfect with Richard Dreyfuss in that movie. They play off each other so well. Bill Murray plays Bob Wiley as well as anyone could do that. In terms of when you cast someone, you say we did a really good job casting someone. When they got done filming What About Bob, the director had to be like, we nailed it. We nailed it. We wrote up a character we wanted to have acted out. There's no one who could have done it better. What About Bob? My favorite Bill Murray movie, the best Bill Murray movie. What's off the list? Okay, I got to go to bed. Thank you for listening. I need to go to sleep and grow my facial hair back. Goodbye.